been doing this for a year now, and I've known you for some time. You have lots of interests, can range from many things. Pero I just want to ask you, why fitness? Could be talking about, I don't know, shoes, basketball, but like, why fitness?
Number one, I suck at basketball. I mean, I don't suck. I don't suck, but you know, never good enough to make it to like even semi-pro or even to the collegiate level. So why? I mean, I don't have a right to talk about it. I'm not like everyone on those freaking comment section of Bleacher Report who has an opinion on the GOAT, and it's just a never-ending debate and a freaking waste of time, if you ask. But fitness, on the other hand, led to a lot of things in my life that I'm very thankful for. I met my wife through fitness. Met a lot of friends through fitness. A lot of good people through fitness, and I've learned a lot. I really learned a lot over the last 16 years officially in the business of fitness, and maybe a few more years as a practitioner, as just someone who works out. Yeah, about 4 years as, you know, just a practitioner, not really in the business of fitness yet in those 4 years, and then 16 years as someone in the business of fitness. It's a very tricky question kasi I think a lot of people get into fitness for very, very different reasons, for a variety of reasons. I'd say that's dependent on one, of course, your background as well, and what your motivations. It depends on things like that. Also, your life cycle. I don't want to generalize so much, but as a generalization, if you're under the age of 35, if you ask me, for the most part, people in their teens, in their 20s, most of them get into fitness to look good, you know, to help them with their confidence, to help them look better.
Yeah, when I was younger.
Me, same thing, you know, I was a really, really skinny kid. For those of you who don't know, after high school, that's when I started working out. I was 120 pounds. Little less than 120 pounds, and I was about 5'9" at the time. Yeah, a lot of people will get into fitness to help their body image, whether you're a man or a woman. So women, I don't know how it is nowadays, but I think a lot of them just like to, like, hey, I want to look like this hot influencer. I want to have like a butt like Kylie Jenner. I want to look like Kendall Jenner, something like that. Or I want to look like Ariana Grande. I don't even know. I'm thinking that it's somewhat motivated by things like that when you're young. Or I want to fit into clothes, I want to look better in clothes, or maybe I want to be the next fitness influencer on Instagram and have like a bajillion followers on Instagram. Speaking of, if you're not following us on Instagram, please do. Yeah, check it out. It should be here. Variety of reasons for that. Mostly aesthetic, mostly, for lack of a better word, vanity reasons. Yeah, so when you're young, those are your motivations. At that age, they're not thinking of health. They're not thinking of health at that age. Once you hit like your 30s, you entered the workforce. You got busy. You started making a good living for yourself. Started making some money. You realize now, oh, this isn't about school anymore. It's not about homework. It's about, you know, how well I bring home the bacon. And somewhere along the line, some people neglect their health. They neglect their health, they neglect their fitness for different purposes, you know, chasing their dreams, financially, building their families, whatever. But at that point, one day, you look at the mirror and you don't recognize that person in the mirror. A little heavier in certain areas, a little bit fuller in certain parts of your face. Maybe some of that inflammation may have like given your skin a bad quality. But basta, in a way, you don't feel as fast. You don't feel as, you're not as light in your step. You know, they have to pick themselves up off from bed literally because they're not feeling so great anymore. They neglected that side. So some, even worse, they may have already like started mom bod, dad bod. Yung iba, I have some friends, like some classmates, batchmates back in the day. They're taking maintenance meds.
And for those watching, na parang this isn't hugot anecdote. these are you can get this from your clients. Like, you know, these
Yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
exist. Because some people would just say, parang, obviously, when you get old, you feel these things, diba? Pero,
Yeah, this is like literally from the hundreds of people that have come through my clients, from my clients and their friends and my friends. My friends. You know, sad reality of being in the fitness industry is you're probably gonna be the only one in your group of friends. That's the way it works. And you find other like-minded people in fitness to become your new friends simply because your old friends, they tend to not get it. And they're like some of the hardest people to get on board.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. It's the
So
same with
odd.
family.
That's so odd, yeah.
It's the same with family. Your family is usually the last people to like.
Sobra.
Tito Ken, one of our di ba? Like he's a nurse. He's into things like functional medicine. He just said that it's his family who has like the hardest time convincing to change their lifestyle practices. Because a lot of them come from the medical field, and yet when he tries to encourage lifestyle improvements, it's hard. So anyway, yeah, but yun, in their 30s that happens, start their families. So now, and then they have young kids. And then suddenly the priorities change. They want like, I think I want to get to the point where I get to walk my daughter down the aisle
And
or
be walking. And be actually walking.
be walking down the aisle one day when they get married. And nowadays, people are getting married later in
Yeah.
life. So if you think you're gonna be walking your daughter at like 25 years old, like they used to back in the day, now you're probably gonna be walking them 10 years later than that, 35 years old sometimes. So if you're 35 and let's say your daughter was born when you were 30, because during our time, people started families a little later. That means that you will be walking your daughter at the aisle when you're 65. 65 years old. And at 65 today is not 65 20 years ago. If you look at the people, I saw this, like, did you know that Keanu Reeves, Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx are all in their mid-50s? And they look damn good, if you think about it.
Actually, Jamie Foxx is gonna play a young Mike Tyson very soon.
See, there you are. They're in their 50s. If you think about it, when I was younger, someone in their 50s was Morgan Freeman, James Earl Jones. They look really old. As far as women, is like people like Helen Mirren. Now women, you have Jennifer Lopez in her 50s. Who else is in her 50s? Like Demi Moore, I think,
Yeah.
right? She's in her 50s now.
Demi
She's
Moore.
still looking really. It's usually subjective. Like in the local industry, even the celebrities from back then, they're looking, like I see them on those Vicky Bello billboards. They're looking better, some of them, diba? In their 50s. But yeah, so it changes. And then in your 40s, 50s, you really just want to be around for a little bit more time. Like, you don't want to get to your 70s and just be unhealthy. I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and we were talking about like how right now we're both competitive. We're both competitive in the CrossFit, in the fitness, in the functional fitness space here in the Philippines locally. We're talking about how the pandemic put things into perspective. Not training for competition anymore. These days, no one's training for competition. Like those people are very few and far between. And eventually, we got to the point where he said that at the end of the day, he convinced himself that he just wants to get to the point where when he's old, much older, we're about the same age, 38 years old now, so he's probably 37, if I'm not mistaken. He said that the people who made their choices now to not prioritize their fitness, they won't be able to enjoy the fruits of their labor in their 60s. He'll be able to enjoy a lot of activities well into his 60s. Like, said like, long hike game at 60s. I was like, so ang mangyayari niyan, tayong magyayayaan. Ganun ba yun? So I was like, yeah. Tama naman. Yeah, that does make a lot of sense.
Quality of life din talaga.
Exactly. I mean, at your age, you're what, 29?
Yeah.
You're 29. What is it for you?
Right now?
Yeah.
Honestly, I just still want to look good. But there's a part of me. Of course, I have older people in my life. and seeing how they took care of their bodies, or actually how they didn't take care of their bodies. Not to be morbid, but diba, they're old, but are they really living? Kasi the constant...
Like, it's more like existing and waiting for the day.
Yeah, like diba, just to be frank. Pero
Yeah.
yung can't even walk straight, palaging something hurts but you don't know where because it's everywhere, diba? And
It's systemic.
yeah, and they barely hit 60. And that's what I'm actually scared of. Because outside fitness, I just work hard to make my money. And I don't want it to be in vain because I didn't take care of myself.
Yeah,
while
fear-
I still, diba?
Fear is a good motivator. In your case, I think it's a good motivator. But for some people, it can also be like something that cripples them into inaction. So what's important is what? Are you gonna use that fear of looking like that when you're 60 to motivate you to do something else? Or is it gonna cripple you? So there's the difference. But like for me, honestly, I've actually, it's nice that you asked me that because I've been giving this some thought. And I think the true purpose of fitness can be boiled down to, yeah, cheesy pero it's 3 things.
Like, zoom ko lang. Cheesy
Yeah.
pala eh. Coach Anton.
Ayan. Doesn't look his age.
Huwag niyo nang tanong ko ilan to.
25.
If I'm 38, huwag nyo nang alamin. Anyways, kaya hindi siya nagpa-vlog eh. Ayaw niya yung broadcast. I think I've like, this is my version. This can be very subjective. My version of the true purpose of fitness. So number 1, I think it's to, I can boil this down to the 3 E's. I even cut it down to E's. Cheesy pero okay. It's not easy being cheesy. 3. So the first E is that fitness should empower. So that's the thing I see. I lost my job. I lost 2 jobs during the height of this pandemic. I'm one of the casualties. But I'm not gonna play the blame game or play the victim. Fitness has taught me that the buck stops with me. You know, it all boils down with me. It empowers me to take responsibility for things, take responsibility for my health, take back my health. I'm not gonna trust a doctor with how to live my life. I will trust a doctor how to save my life. You know what I'm saying? If I get sick, 100% trust your doctor. But if you're not sick, you need to find someone else to help you live your life. So yeah, that's it. Fitness is very empowering. You know, especially now during the pandemic. There's that saying, you know, that tough times don't last. Only tough people do. And fitness makes you tougher, makes you more resilient. So that's one of the things for me. Second E for me is fitness should be enriching. It should enrich your life. It should enhance the quality of your life. You should be able to do more things because of fitness, because of your level of fitness, because you are fit. Developing these good habits, they take time. It's not something that you can develop overnight, 3 months, 6 months, even a year. It takes a lot of time to develop good habits. And these good habits will eventually lead to you having a richer life, whether it be with your health, whether it be in your fitness. And some of these you can even apply to other areas of your life, like your finances, things like that. So basically a richer life. It's no wonder that, you know, a lot of these high-powered, high-level CEOs, fitness is a priority in their life. I've always wondered that. The socio-economic game of fitness, sadly, is that currently, the most people who do take care of their health are those who are a little bit better off financially speaking. But it shouldn't be. You know, everyone should do some way to get healthy, to get fit. It should not be restricted to those who are doing better.
It's not a money issue, eh,
It
diba?
shouldn't be. Now, of course, given that, people with money will have a little bit better access. They can afford their personal coaches. They can afford better quality food, things like that. But it
They
shouldn't
have
be.
YouTube plug.
YouTube? Yeah, that's what we do. Fitness could lead to a more abundant lifestyle. Like we said earlier, when you get old, you get to do these activities with your kids. If your kids get into sports, you can play sports with your kids. If your kids get into outdoor activities like hiking, surfing, things like that, you can definitely join them. 50 today, like we just said earlier, is not the 50 20 years ago. Life expectancy is getting longer, but you need to add years to that life.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Years
you
to
need
that
to add
life.
years to that life. And then the last E is to enliven.
Yeah.
Enliven, you know, because you know how working out produces endorphins?
Yes.
It's overused. And that makes you a happier person. Generally speaking, you're a happier person. So you're a lot better to be around with other people. You know what I'm saying? So people will like to spend more time with people who are lively, people who don't bitch and moan so much, people who have things to be thankful for, things like that. And success in fitness, I noticed, success in fitness has to do with you being able to be introspective and self-evaluation. So that makes good mental exercise. So people who are fit are also smart. Pero not all. Not all. Meron yung isa sinabi niya, di ba, yung dadaanin daw sa muscles yung life. Mukhang hindi masyadong debatable. Pero
Comment down below kung sino yan.
you know what? Like I said, all of this is very subjective. This is my take on fitness. Let me know what you feel like what's important to you. Mindset yan eh. I mean, fitness is about the proper mindset. What's important to you right now? We're in the midst of a pandemic that has killed thousands and thousands of people. The studies are out. Physically active, physically fit people are harder to kill. New York Times, CNN, they both came out. Generally speaking, people who are fitter and more physically active are probably not going to develop the severe symptoms of COVID. So, what else are you waiting for? That in and of itself should be enough motivation for you to get fit. If not now, when? You know what I'm saying? The best time to start was yesterday. Second best time is today. Tomorrow, however, is not guaranteed. Hopefully, you appreciate the video like that. I know it's not a common thing, but it's just something that I had to, something that we had to talk about, and we thought a lot. Some of you might benefit from it. So if you got this far, hopefully you're subscribed. If not, please consider subscribing, and then give this video a like. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Maybe a bit of a tough pill to swallow for some, but just being real. Thanks.